And we're live. I am so excited. Go live in the group, Elle.
I'm very excited as well. Hello, everyone. Please drop in the comments first that you can hear us, right? Yes, if our audio, our visual is coming through. And then also let us know where you are tuning in from today. David and I have just gotten back from an epic month of travel. We've been in Mexico. We went to Puebla to see Ali Torres, our amazing client success manager. We also were in Playa del Carmen for a business conference of marketers, e-com, SaaS, people that build location independent businesses. Then we came back. We were home for a couple of days, and then we packed another bag, packed up a bunch of stuff to sponsor at a SWAT event out in Dallas, where we connected with lots of amazing agents, agency owners, and it's probably met some of you that are tuning in here. Let us know if you just got connected by meeting at SWAT. And we're excited because for you guys, we definitely have something super special lined up where we are going to spin the wheel. We had a bunch of agents sign up for our social media bundle. So we're actually going to be spinning the wheel, giving away a whole bundle that includes a ring light, a lapel mic, as well as a selfie stick, basically everything that you need to turn your cell phone into a professional recording studio here. And we're going to be spinning the wheel to give that away as well. So super pumped. We got a lot lined up for you guys today. David, you got anything you want to add to the welcome here? Are you ready to go?
Yeah, let us know as you're joining, where you're tuning in from, what city, what state. We got over 35,000 different insurance agents in the free Facebook group, Marketing for Insurance Agents, if you're watching it from there, or stream this in a few different places as well. But if you're in the Facebook group, there are 35,000 insurance agents there. So if you're watching this different platform, make sure to join the Facebook group as well. We do trainings like this every Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern, except for next Monday, which will be Memorial Day. So we'll actually be doing a special one next Wednesday. So stay tuned for that one. But we have hundreds of trainings in this group throughout the years, hundreds of thousands of posts. We love having any amazing agents part of the community. So definitely hop in with us there. But yeah, let us know what cities, states, let us know what lines of insurance you focus on as well. Would love to see that. And also that you can see us near us, so we're not just talking to ourselves, but I see people commenting. Great. So we will hop in and we'll go ahead and do the prize off the bat, just like we promised. We'll screen share, we'll pull that up, and we will dive in to spin that wheel, right? Let me hear it in the comments. Spin that wheel, right? I don't know if it's trademarked. So don't. That is not in relation to any game show or anything out there, right? So, but no, we had awesome time at the event out in Dallas. Met a lot of you guys. A lot of you guys came by, said hi. My favorite thing was like, I see you guys all the time on social media, guys. Social media is powerful. It works. And really, really enjoyed getting in touch base with everybody there. And yeah, we got some prizes for people that came by. We'll have to do some for some different contests and stuff for the whole Facebook group at some point. But look forward to meeting you guys. And like I said, prizes were promised. So with that, we're going to spin away for the social media bundle. So say spin that wheel in the comments, and especially if you're on the wheel for a chance to win. So Elle, you able to screen share? You need me to bring it up?
I think I've got it. Let me just.
Okay, let's go.
Let's see. Screen share. And we
spin
are.
that wheel.
Oh, all right.
There we go. Woo! Who all we got here? We got Derek, we got Carmen, we got Letitia, Julie, Travis, Yvonne, Michael, Leslie. We got a ton on here, guys. So thanks for everybody who came by and met us. So we're gonna spin that wheel. Ready to hear it go. But we can't spin that wheel unless you say it in the comments. So I want to see some spin that wheel in the comments before we rock and roll with this. So, or if you're going to win, go ahead and claim it in the comments like, oh, it's going to be me for sure. So
Love it. All right, let's go ahead and spin. Are we ready?
Go.
Here we go.
It's my wheel dance. Sandra Flores! You are the winner!
Woo! It's so funny because Michael, Sandra's husband, was so convinced that he was going to win. So Michael and Sandra, Michael, I feel like you kind of won by association there. So congratulations, Sandra. We will get you your social media bundle. You get a ring light, selfie stick, and lapel mic, everything that you need to turn your cell phone into a professional recording studio.
Let's go. I'm pumped, guys. And little side note, I just want to mention because I thought it was a pretty fun event. So we're setting up for the event. We're one of the sponsors, and absolutely love getting to connect with a lot of other amazing colleagues in the area, as well as a bunch of amazing agents also. But we're setting up before people kind of get there. They have some big posters of some of the speakers. I'm getting some shots of just like me playing around and checking some things out in the event. And I was like, oh, you know what might be a cool one is if I like hold the phone up and kind of walk through with the different some of the speakers on the banners there. It didn't turn out super great. That was fine or ever. I had a few others and I put them all up on my story. Well, the next day at the event, one of the speakers comes up to me and was like, hey, I had one of my agents see this and screenshot and send this over. One of her agents had seen the story I'd posted with the poster of her in the background, that took a picture and cropped it of that screenshot, sent it to her and be like, I just saw this on David's story. And she's like, and I got to talk to you. All that happened less than 24 hours of just throwing a little piece up on my story of a clip. I didn't really think that would make that much of a difference. And that's why we do social. It's so, so powerful, guys. I love it. I love the relationships. So let's go ahead and hop in to the training for today. So not only do we give out prizes, but also training you can apply to your business, which is even worth even more than prizes, right? So let's go ahead and hop in here. So welcome, everybody. It's your first time hopping on with us, right? First, in the comments, let us know this is your very first time. Just write first or the number 1, and that way we know it's your very first time hopping on. We'd love to welcome you. We'd love to say hi, especially if you're in the Facebook group, as we'd love to get you some free resources, trainings, some stuff that would be helpful for you guys. Just write 1 or first, and welcome to the first time hopping on with us. I promise we're gonna do a little bit of an intro in just a second so you know who the heck we are in the first place. And if you're back, you're ready for more, write MFIA, which stands for Marketing for Insurance Agents, which is the name of the Facebook group. So if you're not in it, go search it. You'll see it. It's 35,000 insurance agents. And let us know you're back and ready for more. Been doing this for 8 years. I love seeing people that from even 8 years ago keep coming back to these trainings and diving in with us as well. So with that, we'll introduce ourselves real quick. I am David. This is Elle, who you've heard from. And we're 2 of the founders of Jumpstart Go, who helps run this Facebook group, these live streams, they've seen us at events. And we absolutely love working with insurance agents, agencies, helping them grow and scale their businesses. Even have an agency ourselves where we practice what we preach and teach and test in there as well. So we specialize in helping insurance agents and agencies double their production, fire their lead vendors, and ditch the smiling and dialing, as I call it, frowning and drownings, forever through organic marketing strategies. No paid leads, no paid ads. We founded Jumpstart Go back in 2018. We started the Marketing for Insurance Agents group right here that a lot of you guys are watching this on. It's over 35,000 different insurance agents across the US, all lines of insurance in here that we absolutely love having as part of this community. And we've consulted and worked with around 1,000 different insurance agents and agencies over the years, whether through our programs, events, and then we also generate over $1 million+ a year just from social media alone. Love teaching and showing agents and agencies how to grow and scale, leveraging that for themselves, whether for prospects, referral partners, or for even growing their teams on that side as well. And that's exactly what we teach them through the organic strategies. So little quick overview on us. For those who are wondering, yes, we are married. No, she's not my sister. It's illegal in most states, right? So no. So we'll go through background on ourselves even more so on a different one. But now let's hop into the training for today. Elle, what do we got?
Yeah, so today we're really excited to be talking about not only the recap of the event, but how you can turn in-person connections into actual connections and opportunities. So this is a big thing. Let us know in the comments here. Have you ever gone to an event or networking event and been like, man, I really didn't feel like I got a lot from that? First off, it could have been the networking event. Maybe it wasn't the right one to be attending to begin with, but usually if you're going to places where there's other business owners or people that are part of your target market, you really should be leaving that event with connections that are going to turn into relationships and somehow that you can do business together. So let us know if what your experience is. Drop something in the comments. Let us know, like, yes, networking events are great for me, or no, networking events really haven't really turned into anything for me. It just is a little bit of a waste of time. And David, let's talk a little bit about why relationships matter more than ever these days.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's been interesting. Sometimes you see things are cyclical in history. I think that's why we study history, right? Sometimes that wasn't my favorite topic, but it was interesting watching things that would happen and then things would change. And then it's almost like those previous things would happen again. And I feel like it's a little bit what we're going through right now. I think, it was like maybe pre-internet, so relational based. Like you made connections, referral partners, word of mouth. You were very involved in your community, and things were done through relationship. You became the known to go-to person in your area, and it was hard for people to compete with you. And you built that up over time and those relationships that you built. And then internet came about and opportunities for generating leads and reaching out, almost not quite, but sort of almost a transactional approach, and like the heavier amount of activity and the stuff I do and just move on to the next became in place. And a lot of people had never gotten calls and reached out before and like, oh, you know what, I do need that. Oh, I am glad you reached out and connected. I'm glad I filled that form out, right? And then it kind of got overdone. I blame marketers and stuff like that. We tend to go heavy on things that work until the point of, oh yeah, it needs to change. And I think that's really what's come about where, leads have gotten more expensive to generate, contact rates have dropped, people are tired of getting hit with calls of numbers they don't recognize. Just a lot of things have changed a little bit. So now people really value relationships and trust and like, who do you work with? Refer me to them. Or, oh, I'm choosing to work with you because I've seen who you are, what you do, and I'd absolutely love to do business with you. And it's becoming more back to the relational side, which I've always found a lot of value in and thought is the most important. But even now it's turning to a point where it's not even as much of an option. So, look, lead vendors and leads getting more expensive, cold calls are getting ignored, but relationships still the most powerful channel agents have. People refer people they trust.
Absolutely. And those in-person relationships are absolutely huge. And social media is a big component of this as well. Building trust through social. We're actually going to talk about this because I think this is one of the missing links that a lot of times people miss. Like they are not really using the power of social media to layer in what they're doing in person. So in person, social media, paid advertising, all of these things really work together to ultimately build trust. Drop the word trust in the chat if most of your business comes from relationships right now, or not yet, if you're not really leveraging those in-person relationships to really build that rapport and trust. And there's really two types of relationships that you need, David. So let's break down those two different types of buckets and kind of what the difference between those are.
And like I said, drop trust in the chat if your business, most of your business comes through word of mouth and trust and relationships right now. So with that, two types, right? Prospects and referral partners, right? And these are the relationships we want. I definitely want relationships with prospects and them coming to me, wanting to work with me, spreading the word, everything. I love that. And that is a huge, huge side that we absolutely want to build and bring through. But one of the downsides is when I'm a prospect, it's like a one-to-one, right? Like in me reaching and each prospect and them coming to me and everything, and it's fantastic. But the other side, I believe, is the even more powerful side, especially for scaling up and scale, and that's referral partners, strategic referral partners and relationships, centers of influence. And these are absolutely the types that you should be building. A lot of people only focus on one side and leave out the other, and that's really what I want to dive into on that. So, Elle, who are prospects?
Yeah, so those prospects are people that will hopefully become clients, even if it's not today. David and I talk about this a lot, and this is something that's so powerful, again, with using social media and getting connected with people on social, is that 90% of your market is not going to be ready to buy today. Leaving only 10% of any given market that's ready to make a buying decision today. But that's okay, because if you're staying in touch, and especially if you're using this relationship-based marketing, 90% is going to be ready to buy tomorrow or some point in the future. So those prospects are people that are going to become clients. And then the other is going to be referral partners. And those are people that already are working with your target market and have trust with your target market as well as traffic. Okay, we want to work with referral partners that have an audience or client base, people that are also your target market that you're looking to get in front of, and that are already using some of these strategies to build up that relationship with their clients, with their audience. So this is something that's often missed a lot of times. I think that agents are always looking for the real estate agents, the loan officers that they can get connected with. But today we actually just did a client training and we focused all on Facebook group admins. David and I ourselves, being the admins of the Marketing for Insurance Agents Facebook group, and building this group from hand, we have a lot of people that reach out to us wanting to get in front of our audience of 35,000 insurance agents. And so we've seen like the good way to go about building relationship and creating opportunity, people that we want to collaborate with, and people that, you know, we also feel comfortable sharing with the Marketing for Insurance Agents Facebook group. And then we've also seen the bad way, you know, people that it's just very clear they're looking to get in front of the audience. They're in it for them, and they're not really taking a value first or relationship building approach. And that is so key. These referral partners that can be strategic, have traffic and trust with your ideal client. They're everywhere. They're not just the CPAs, the real estate agents. I mean, they can be, those can be great ones. Dylan Baker generated 544 referrals from real estate agents in 30 days. Congrats, Dylan. He's now teaching clients how to do that.
Yep.
So I'm not saying that real estate agents are bad referral partners at all. I just think that they're also very saturated, and that we're not really always looking for opportunities to connect with referral partners that are a little bit outside of the box, and really starting to tap into social media and these micro influencers that maybe, you know, they have an audience of 1,000, 2,000 people. And specifically speaking for the Facebook group audiences, when your audience of a Facebook group size is less than 2,000, it's a lot of manual work for the admin to keep engagement up, to create content that keeps the group engaged. And so when you're thinking about Facebook group admins, for examples, as referral partners that you could potentially connect with, you can really, really add a lot of value to them just by helping them create content, answering questions, and keeping engagement going.
Yeah, great ways to get on their radar is like being very involved in like comments or in the groups or stuff like that. So let's test that out right now. If you're watching this live, drop in some comments, and let's also get some questions, guys. We'll be collecting some questions, answering those as well, and we try to give the most out of the Q&A portion as well. As like, what are your questions? We want to answer those, provide even more value for you guys. So let us know in the comments that, hey, I love this, I'm tracking along, I like what you said about this, or here's my thoughts on that. Or, hey, I got a question on what you mentioned here. Can you explain that some more? Or based off what you said, drop them below. That's exactly why we do these. We do these for you guys, try to give back, provide as much value. Also see, hey, what's a little bit what it looks like to work with these guys if I truly want to grow scale, put this stuff in place. I'm a little bit interested in social. I know it's an opportunity, so I'm starting to learn about that. But yeah, drop your questions here. That's exactly what we got. We spent just a few years, meaning a lot of years in this industry, and love to share with you guys, to see you guys grow and scale. So with that said, I love what you said about micro influencers and tapping in and getting away just from the ones that everybody hits. Nothing wrong with that, especially if you hit them the right way, building value. But sometimes markets and industries are also cyclical, right? Like real estate and mortgage loan officers, for example. There's not as much home buying and selling versus maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, right? But maybe coming back as rates drop and stuff there. So I don't want to be locked in, oh, that's the only referral partners I can think of, right? We've had people who've done really well with like salons and nail places and with senior living facilities, or, with even connecting through like city government, PTA, student counts, or school boards, stuff like that. There's so many opportunities for connection. Chiropractors, elder care attorneys, all these businesses, contractors that deal with your target audiences, whether, I don't care if you're doing PNC, doing under 65 health, Medicare, life, financial services. There's so many ways to have amazing referral partners you can tap in that helps them grow their business, and honestly just makes things easier by more and more business coming to you with like a snowball effect. So if you have questions like, hey, what might be a good referral partners for me, or I'm trying to think that through, like drop your target audiences in the chat. Or if you don't know what your target audience is, drop kind of what products you focus on. We can help kind of talk about that a little bit as well. But start thinking through that, guys. And so go ahead and let us know in the comments, do you have a best referral partner right now that, hey, this one sends me a lot of business, or I absolutely love building with these referral partners? Drop what type of referral partner is in the chat, and would love to see what everybody says there as well. So with that, we're going to focus not only just on short term, but also on long term, that more and more business comes in to the point where we don't ever have to really go out and seek it. It's just constantly coming to us. And that is going to come through your referral partner, strategic referral partner relationships, centers of influence to go along with your prospects. So with that, let's talk about some different opportunities for developing these sort of relationships. And we're going to talk about this today because we actually just came from some events around this, and how to make industry events, or events that like even strategic referral partners would be at, your relationship playground, right? Imagine back to your kid, you go out on the playground and you go out there and just sit by yourself, like on the swing or whatever, and you go out there and you're playing tag, you're making connections, you're chasing people around, you're pushing other kids off the slide. Hopefully you're not doing that though. But yeah, you're out there making connections. And that's exactly what events are amazing opportunities for. So Elle, tell us a little bit on the event side here.
Yeah. And I think also when you're like networking, you're at events, like just kind of making that shift a little bit into those like micro influencers, people that have influence and trust with your particular target audience, and actively like thinking about collaboration opportunities that you can do with the people that are at the event. This is going to open up so many doors. Like you just need to kind of put that like hat of curiosity on, asking questions and getting really interested with people. So many times people think that the networking is only going to happen like in an expo room or at the sponsor booth, or even at those little kind of like, sometimes they do like speed networking, kind of depending on the way that the event is set up. But David and I have found that there's a time that the real magic actually happens, and where there's places where you can really have more meaningful connection than just like when people are like quickly shaking hands and quickly getting information. And when are those moments, David? Really, when are the times that we can be most intentional and really dive into the relationship building piece of it?
Absolutely. The real magic is in the hallways. It's at lunch. It's at the mixers, the dinners after. And this is where trust gets built naturally when people aren't in sales mode, right? Because it is relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Always. It's like if you're going up to events, like, here's what I do. Can I help your people with that? Or here's my offering. Here's my pitch. Like, it's good to explain what you do, right? Of course, that's important. But all this comes down to relationships. Is this person I would want to work with? Because they're also meeting a lot. So they're making kind of quick judgment. Like, this is a person I'd want to even work with or explore more, talk about more and stuff with on, send referral business over to. And that all comes not from a quick elevator pitch. It comes through chatting a little bit more, actually listening to the person, getting to know them, what's going on, trying to bring value to them. Hey, have you thought about this? It could be really great. I've seen people do well with this. Like, oh, I've never even considered this, right? Sharing things with them, and just, yeah, sometimes just having fun with them too, right? I judge a lot. I'm a big relationship guy. I like people that I can have a good time and I really enjoy being around. Those are the people I like building relationships with, or strategic referral partner relationships. Most of the people that we do business with, absolutely the same way. In fact, the communities of our own programs and stuff as well. Like, is there a button they can just click and buy and come into the program? No. It's because we do talk with people, because the environment, the community is so important that we very much want people who also value relationships, because they send a lot of referrals back and forth to each other. There's a lot of trust there. And so that's a key part. And I find the same thing with events. Like, I want to build those relationships. And it usually is like in the evenings or early breakfast, or like just getting a chance to talk, like, oh, I'll come into the event a little bit later because we're having such a good convo. Listen, I don't like missing pieces of events and stuff there too, but listen, I'm there for relationships and connections. I'll pick up, stuff from the teachings and stuff too. But, for me, the people is the highest priority when it comes to events.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that you talked about the connection piece. It's not just about pitching, right? Like, it's not just about talking about your business. I would say actually that's like the least important part of this entire process. It's going to be more about connecting with people in a meaningful way. So really just shifting your mindset into making the entire event your relationship playground, not your pitch deck. I mean, I think this is one of the things that, like, obviously, like, people are there to build their business. So talking about business is going to like naturally come up. But like, you don't want to like actively be pitching people during this process. You want to let them know a little bit about what you do, how you help your market. But you also really want to show that genuine curiosity in them. Like, come prepared with like a few questions to ask them. Some questions that you could maybe ask anybody, maybe about like, and really showing a genuine interest in their business. So kind of asking them like, who's a really good client for you? I love that question. Who's a good referral for you? What parts of your business do you really enjoy? What are some challenges that you're experiencing inside of your business? Like, think about some of these questions that you can ask people that are going to open up the conversation and also help you with maybe understanding where they're at in their business, and help you maybe even discover ways that you can support them inside of what they're currently doing, which is going to lead to more opportunity for you. So, for example, if they're, talking about, well, my challenge right now is just like finding more clients. If all of you that are plugging in here, you're actively learning about social media. We're talking about this relationship building. Maybe something that you can help them with is showing them what you're learning on social media, inviting them to do a Facebook Live together, and collaborating in that type of way to do some sort of joint content, social media content together. That could be a major value add for them. Maybe they're trying to develop something that's like a client appreciation, or they're trying to add more value to their existing client base. you're asking these questions and you're uncovering that. And you're not going to get that type of time with people when they're just coming by your booth. So really being intentional about who you're having lunch with, making that time to grab a coffee maybe beforehand, like if you're at an event together, or a drink afterwards, just so that you can create some more time to get to know them better, which are going to uncover opportunities and also just be more likely for them to want to sit down with you after the event so that you can explore some collaboration together.
I love it. And keep in mind, like, yes, ask them questions about their business, getting to understand them, everything is great. I actually find a lot of that trust relationship just comes from the questions even outside the business. Like, why'd they get insurance in the first place? Like, what do they enjoy doing outside of business? What do they, whether, what does it look like with their families? Do they have families that work with them in the business? What's going on? And the more I connect both on a personal and business level, the longer lasting that relationship is, the deeper it is, and the more like, hey, this person's actually getting to know me and actually cares versus just trying to pitch and sell me something, right? And so this is where you end up with relationships that last for years. Elle and I talk about this a lot. At any given time in any market, doesn't matter, insurance, in any market, only 10% of people are ready to buy, need it, want it, ready to pull a trigger right now at this time. Another 90%, it's maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, next month, in a few years. And that's where everybody's looking for the 10% and immediately, hey, I want to convert this. And if not, okay. But the relationships is where I have a pipeline that every day, every week, every month, people are coming through working with me, whether it's just discovered or it's been 4 years, right? And this is where I love in-person events, because some people, I'll be honest, at this event, we saw some people we haven't seen in years. And it was like picking up the conversation like we left it off an hour ago, and getting to reconnect with people and spend time with them. It's talking to each other virtually and online, it's great, but an event, actually getting to sit down and see them in person and catch up, talk strategies, how we can even do things together, or just reconnect, seeing clients that worked with us for like 6 years at events. It's so powerful, guys. So these relationships matter. It is a relationship industry. Anybody who tells you differently, I don't know what they're talking about, because it's probably one of the most relational industries I can think of, especially because people are trusting us with the most important things in their lives, their family, their finances, their health, their most prized possessions. That's exactly what we're handling in insurance. So guys, relationships are key. Don't just try to find that 10%. The other 90% is what's going to make you have an ongoing business that grows year over year, to eventually where it's completely referrals and people coming to you. So let's ask, for people that do go to any sort of events, whether industry events or events with your target market, then where do you usually make the best connections at those events? At the booth, during lunch, after hours? I would love to know. Drop in the comments, where do you make the best connections at events that you go to, and let us know. So now let's talk about how you show up, right? Cool, I'm at the event, I know it went to relational. Let's talk about how I'm showing up here. You got to be able to clearly and quickly explain what you do and why it matters. If it takes you an hour to explain what you do, good luck at an event, right? Like you gotta, the concept of a hook in capturing interest and showing value is key. So Elle, how does that work?
Yeah, so this piece is really important. And this is the same thing. We talk about crafting a marketing message with our clients. And this is like your bio essentially on social media. That is who you help, how you help them, and the benefit that you provide. And a lot of times we kind of hear very like generic sort of descriptions of, well, I'm a life insurance agent. I help families, individuals, and businesses protect what matters most, or something kind of like that. Well, first off, that's way too broad. You really want to think about who is at this event. Like, again, going back to like prospects or referral partners, those are going to typically be two different types of options of opportunities that you can create from an event. So if you're, if it's more for prospects, like maybe you some sort of like family event or like a local community event or something like that for your neighborhood, your community, well, you would want to tailor it for people that are living in that community. We live in St. Petersburg, Florida. So if I'm at a St. Pete event, I would think about, okay, how do I work with families specifically here in St. Pete? So I would say, I work with St. Petersburg, families in St. Petersburg, and then it would also get a little bit more specific with that. Like Dylan, for example, who I talked about earlier, who built the relationships with the real estate agents, he works with single income families specifically. Okay. So he's going to talk about how he works with single income families in St. Petersburg, and then what he actually does to help them in his pitch, essentially, is that he helps them stay in their homes longer in the case of worst case scenario happens. Okay. So likely from him saying that, people might ask like, well, what does that mean exactly? And he'll talk about one of, the biggest reasons that families have to leave their homes is due to a loss of income because of death or disability. And then that leads into how he protects families with insurance. And you can also talk about how single income families are most vulnerable to losing their homes because of the single income, right? So when you're very specific about this on the who, and then you're also to explain, again, that value that you bring. You're not necessarily leading with the words insurance, but able to explain what the service you do is necessary, why it's beneficial. It's going to open up more questions and conversations so that you can talk about what you do in a way that's not pitching and not selling. But you really need to distill this down. Use ChatGPT to help you with fleshing out your ideas, but make sure in that elevator pitch, you're capturing the who, you're being specific, not families, individuals, and business owners. That's way too broad. Narrow down on the problem that you're helping them solve and the benefit that you bring to your client base. And then again, asking those questions to help sort of facilitate the conversation and being specific with that can be really helpful in building on the conversation and opening those doors so that people do naturally ask you more about what you do.
Yeah, if this is your target audience, then there's a problem, right? Like, do they have a pulse? So we do want to get defined, right? They're breathing. Okay, cool. Yeah. So no, hey guys, we want to be seen as the authorities, the go-tos, the experts. And if you say I'm an expert in everything and everyone, no one believes you for a second. So absolutely want to be the go-to, the expert, and it just helps your brand, helps you attract those you can help the most. It's really, really powerful, and will just help you bring in more results. But also, it's great to be like known for that thing, right? And so, question for you guys. Right now, let's find out. Take action here. If someone asked what you did right now, could you answer in one sentence? Drop a yes or drop a no. And I mean a real sentence, guys. Not that run on for 30 minutes. And I swear it was one sentence, right? No, we're talking approved by your English teacher in high school, one sentence. So no semicolons, no nothing. It's one sentence. Let us know in the chat, yes or no, right? All right. So cool. We're at an event. We know it's about relationships. We're committed to growing our business and our relationships and our opportunities there. And we also now can explain what we clearly do in a quick and concise way, and also a hooky, how we bring value way as a part of that too. That's fantastic. So Elle, let's say I am talking to someone, I'm making a connection. Okay. And they're like, man, this is interesting. I like what you're saying, David. And I'm liking the person I'm talking to. Fantastic. Cool. What's next steps look like? Is that just like, cool, give me a call one day if you ever can use my help? Like, is that the best way to connect?
Yeah. So I think this is one of the biggest mistakes that we make is we put our opportunity, like we just made a connection, right? there's interest, maybe even some good conversation that's happened back and forth. And what do? Like, we give them our information. Now we're putting the ball in their court, especially if you're handing out business cards. I purposely do not bring business cards with me because I feel like it's like the cop-out way to like, oh, we're just exchanging a business card. A much more powerful way is to get on social media, you guys. Like, start forcing yourself to either use a digital business card that's got your socials on it, or just using the platform right then and there to go ahead and connect with them on social or send them a text message, because this is going to be a much more powerful way to stay top of mind with them, especially if you're using social and you're posting regularly and you go ahead and get connected with them on social media. Then every time you post, then they're going to be seeing content from you. And I mean, obviously you want to like follow up with them, touch base, send a text or an email after the event. But when you get connected with them on social's really doing a lot of that follow up for you and helping you stay top of mind.
Love it. Guys, number one resource you have and your prospects referral partners have is phone, is the connection, right? And like I was saying, like, if I can be in front of them and be in front of them often, even better. And if I can do it without even having to be one-on-one, which, yes, like she said, still reach out, still give them a call, text, follow up, of course. But if I can do this where I'm doing this with multiple people all at once, and people that are a part of that 90% from the past I've been talking with, this is how you end up with people ready to reach out and talk with you all the time. People that are like, hey, I did meet you at the event, was crazy busy playing catch up the next week, but I kept seeing you as we were connected on social. Cool, now's the time to reach out as things have calmed down a little bit. But you've been busy following up with people the first week anyways, and now you have people reaching out to you the second week as things have started to slow down. And now you stay busy the second week as well. So think about that in relationships, right? I want to get connected. I want to still keep like the option for continuing this conversation connection from my side too, which is getting connected with them. But even better, if I get connected with them in some sort of way for continuous communication versus our numbers are in the contacts in our phone. How many of you guys like scroll through your contacts in your phone and are like, oh yeah, let me shoot this person a message, this person a message. If you're like me, I'm never like sitting there scrolling through contacts on my phone, right? But if it is like, oh, I see something on social pop up, I'll interact and engage with the people I connected with, right? And so now there's a way for them to stay in front of me too, because we connect with colleagues in the industry that also help agents in different ways, or agency owners, and that's a great way for them to like stay top of my mind too, right? And so it works out and helps both of you guys. So do you usually exchange business cards at events, or actually, how do you usually exchange info at events, right? Paper card, which we got paper cards, nothing wrong with that, but right, paper cards, right? Digital card, or right, social media. So let me know in the comments, how do you normally connect with people, either at events or even in person in general? Like, you meet someone in person, how do you connect, right? Because this same stuff can apply just meeting people in person really anywhere at that point. So let us know in the comments. Now, with that, we explained what we do, we've connected. Like, is the next thing, Laura, hey, do you want to quote? Like, can I quote you and your family? Hey, what are your kids' names and how old are they? They're 18. Can I write them a policy? Is that what we do next? Is that how we lead?
Please don't do that.
Don't do that.
We've been at events like this before where people will just like essentially pitch us right
I
then
can
and
think
there.
of a specific person at the last one that I think they probably knew what they're talking about. I think they probably could provide a lot of value, but it was immediately into pitch and offer and savings and all this sort of stuff. It was like, I met you like 2 seconds ago and just trying to even find out who you are and start a relationship, and you're already trying to have me buy something, and not a cheap something either, off the bat as well. Guys, don't be that person. Like, we all get turned off by that. I don't think anybody here is like, listen, I just want your name, and then cool, pitch me, tell me how much it is, what I want, right? And maybe a few people, but right, like a lot of this is relationship based. So stop pitching and start helping instead, right?
Yes, absolutely. And this is going to go back to asking those questions. You really want to think about good questions that you can ask people that are going to lead into a genuine conversation and help you sort of uncover how you might be able to help them. So questions like who's a good client for you? Who's a good referral for you? What areas of support do you feel like you need right now inside of your business? What's going well inside of your business? What are you most excited about? If it's families, kind of going back to like the community or family-based side, a lot of those rapport building questions are going to help you with sort of opening up doors. So starting to ask them questions just about, their family, what they do around town for fun, maybe what types of sports their kids are involved with, how old their kids are, starting to learn more about their backgrounds and using those rapport family-based questions for you to better understand their situation. And then also when you show a genuine interest in other people by asking questions, they're naturally going to want to reciprocate and start asking you questions back. It's just human nature. But if you start pitching and they're like, I don't really like the way this conversation is going, they're going to like look for the first opportunity to get out of the conversation. And then you're not going to really have an opportunity to really connect with that person in a meaningful way. So really focus the conversation on them, getting to know as much as you possibly can about them and showing a genuine curiosity and interest in what they're saying, using those active listening skills.
Yeah, I mean, that's like Elle was saying, that makes people want to stay connected. They'll remember you because you're one of the few who actually listened. And, there's a lot of psychology. Because anybody who's been in sales kind of knows the amount of psychology and using it for good, hopefully, and stuff like that. But, kind of coming back to what Elle was talking about was, it's a concept from even like most people are familiar with like BNI, right? Givers gain. And like I give referrals, I get referrals, right? And, it comes down to a basic concept, and referrals aren't the only way to do that. Of reciprocity, right? Like if I am helping someone and leading with value, even without me necessarily asking it subconsciously, like, oh, I want to help back and give back in some way, connect, like it opens doors that would remain closed. Then that's the only way to open that up. Because once again, I can get hit a million times a day of people wanting to pitch or talk to me or something like that. But if they're leading with value, and on that's what opens the door and willing to sit and have a conversation, a meeting, talk further in depth on that if they lead with that as well. And all the top players in a ton of different industries we know, and not just insurance, like that's exactly how they operate as well. Like, listen, if someone's this person who took a totally different approach and connected with me and knew I loved root beer or whatever, for example, and brought me this craft root beer, I sat down, we did $1 million+ deal together. Like that's the thing that opens up. So guys, just change how you approach, and you'll find it makes a world of difference when you take a relational approach on that side. So what's one question that you ask when networking to keep it from feeling salesy? What's one question that you ask that's not related to their business, how much they're doing, their marketing budget, are they interested in working for agency as an agent? Like what's one question you ask that's not salesy that you find is a really great question to open up a lot of doors, or even lead with value? Let us know in the comments what yours is. So cool. So we met them, we told them what we did, we built a relationship, we led with value, we connected through either our phones and our through social media. Great, fantastic. So after the event ends, we're done, right? There's nothing else we need to do, or what happens after that?
Yeah. So after the event, don't just let those connections die in your notes app or like in your brain. Like make sure that you take action after the event. This is something that I think we all know, but many of us fail to actually execute on.
Exactly. Like, especially when you feel like you're maybe playing catch up a little bit when you're first back, but make a game plan, make the reach outs, know they're going to be busy too, and be like, hey, I know you're probably busy playing catch up as well. Love to connect. I'll reach out at the beginning of next week after maybe we both, play catch up a little bit, and we can set a time then. Because if they're getting hit with 1 million people at that first few days, first week after, if you're the person who reaches out or has already set up a plan to connect with them the following week, then you're less likely to get lost in the noise, actually get a chance to make that connection versus like, oh, I just marked everything as red because I had 500 unread emails. So versus the person, oh yeah, I would love to connect. So shoot a message to them, absolutely. Text, multiple places actually. Sometimes, what's going to be their favorite way to respond? That actually is a good thing to ask them. Actually, what do you use the most to communicate with people? Cool, that's where I want to connect with them. As I do follow-ups, right? Engage in their content. Like if they're using social, posting places, doing video, go engage with it. I guarantee you'll end up on their radar. Even people who have a decent bit of engagements and a lot of stuff going on social, they usually recognize names or what's going on. Like people that are engaging in either Facebook comments on our lives or YouTube or other places, like I usually will recognize names and stuff off of that. So same thing on their side with you. So engage with their content. Even better yet, for especially in this situation, is sending a quick video. Like, hey, it was great meeting with you, Bob. I really appreciated it. As you can see, like, I'm back at the office here. Would love to set up time next week, continue our conversation around this, and just let me know what time works, right? And so nice, like video, it's personalized, it's to them. It's, you get to show yourself off a little more than a text, hey, when do you want to do a meeting or whatever. So send a video, guys. And that 30 seconds can lead to 30 days of follow-up conversations from taking the time to do that.
And make sure that you create a process or a system for yourself with this. So I think this is also something that we don't really take a lot of intention around truly building a pipeline. So you want to build that relationship like it is part of your pipeline, especially with those referral partners and centers of influence that can really open up the doors for a lot of opportunities to come in. Those are going to probably take a little bit longer to develop. And so many times we see agents just let those relationships fizzle. So you want to make sure that you're nurturing the relationship, having a follow-up call, making sure that you've got next steps. You're talking about collaboration ideas, things that you can do together. Build it out in your CRM. You start doing a lot of these, maybe actually even build out a drip sequence or campaign that's helping you stay top of mind with them. Make sure you're getting connected on social media, like David mentioned, and that you're actually building out reminders to follow up with people from the events. Now, is every connection that you make on an event going to be a great one for your business? Probably not. But just like every lead and prospect that comes into your pipeline, is it going to convert? The same is true to these relationships, but working on these relationships that can open up massive deal flow for you, it's probably one of the most high leverage activities that you can work on inside of your business, because you really just need a couple of these relationships to develop to really fill up your pipeline month over month. So I think sometimes we just let them kind of fade away because we're not really seeing the impact that it can have on our business.
And I would say, I almost take that in a different way of every connection that you make is a valuable connection, whether now or potentially down the road in the future. Sometimes it's just timing of like, I'm at this space and in 2 or 3 years, like this connection I initially made that was just, saying hi at the time, connecting, has now turned into a large opportunity, or them just being someone who likes us and spreads the word, right? And lets others know, oh yeah, those people are great, or can vouch like, oh yeah, I know them. They're real, they're trustworthy, they're great. Like just even things like that make a big difference in your business. So the more people who know you, like actually like know you even like personally, who you are, that you do what you say you're gonna do, that you're fun to be around, like there's value in these connection relationships, whether they're a customer right now, a referral partner right now, someone just spreading the word, an evangelist for you in your business right now. Like all of this is valuable. So there's plenty of people from years ago, planted seeds, started relationships, now have turned into amazing connections or just really close friends off of that as well. So guys, building relationships leads to many different benefits on that side, even if it's an awesome friend, right? So what's your favorite way to follow up after an event? DM, a text, email, video message. Let me know in the comments how do you follow up? What do you put in place there? And would love to hear what you guys are putting in place there. So with that, this works because most agents don't follow up, right? That's exactly what we're saying. And that not just goes for events, that goes for leads, prospects, a million and one things, right? It's usually on to the next thing, or just not organized, or just not really having a system, and just no follow-up happens. So most agents forget the connection even happened. And so I spent this time, this energy, and then I just let it die, like Elle said. Don't be that. We want to water and nurture. We don't want to forget about our plant and come back to find it's completely fallen apart, which on actual plants that sometimes happened, right? But with people, we don't let that happen as much as we can, right? Elle.
Yeah. So if you just do a little bit more, you stay intentional, you follow a system and process to stay in touch. Again, really leverage social media. I cannot stress that point enough for you, because it's going to help you with staying top of mind if you're using social and posting regularly to connect with those referral partners. You're going to stand out. Like David said, just doing that little extra effort of follow up, send that video message, do things that other people are not doing. It can be small things that you can do that's going to make a massive impact in these relationships.
I love it, guys. So one referral partner, which is why, once again, I love strategic referral partners in these relationships, can be worth more than 100 cold leads. In fact, I would say one referral partner is worth infinite amount of cold leads, but one referral partner can be worth more than 100 hot, ready to even buy leads over time as well, which is why we develop these out, right? That's the game. Absolutely. So guys, I hope you got a lot of value out of this. Already started thinking through relationships and buildings, whether events, whether through social, in person, apply these, but especially if I'm attending events, we kind of went into some specifics around that side as well. Congratulations again on the social media prize as well. We'll do some more prizes with you guys here. But if you guys listen to this, number one, don't just listen and be like, cool, that was fun, and head out, right? If you're not going to apply the things that you take the time to learn, then I would spend the time elsewhere, right? So if you guys spend the time with us right here, an hour, then take what your notes are and apply one thing, just even it's one thing, put it in place yourself so you actually got value out of it. Learning something isn't really value unless it's applied. And the same thing in our programs, we work with people. Someone's like, "Ooh, I want to come in and learn." I say, this might not be for you, because the whole focus of this is applying results. I want results and growth, not just professional learners. So same thing here. It's great to learn and invest in ourselves, but we got to put in action if we actually want anything to change. So that's the first thing. Second thing, if you're there listen, I absolutely want to apply social media, growing organically to my business, relationships, maybe either in conjunction with what I'm doing on lead side, or even to potentially replace that, be more profitable. And I really like what you guys are talking about. I'd like to learn more. What does it look like? Maybe work with you guys and get that help support your team of coaches, the training, everything that goes along with that you've done for 8 years with agents and agencies. Then just write the word connect, CONNECT. I think I can spell. I don't know. Maybe that's what autocorrect's for. But write your closest version of connect down in the chat, and we'll have either Charm or Edgar from our team reach out, connect with you guys, get us set up for a call, either with me or Dylan. Happy to share with you guys exactly what that would look like. In fact, Dylan actually would love to talk with you, as he was the one that we mentioned in his first month, had 544 referrals and went from no production 35,000 all for free with no leads and ads. So he's a great one to talk to. So connect and we'll get in touch with you there. And if you're watching, listen, I know you guys mentioned you guys do some trainings in this group, and I love to get some of those, take further looks. I'm starting to learn and everything on there. Just write the word resources in the chat, and we'd love to get you some resources sent over, some past trainings and stuff that might be helpful. Actually, I know that would be helpful, sent over to you guys on that side. And if you're watching this, YouTube or LinkedIn or Instagram, just shoot us a message, reach out, or definitely check out the actual community Marketing for Insurance Agents on Facebook. We'd love to have you part of that, as there's a lot of discussions, chats, resources, prizes, giveaways, all kinds of things in that group. Definitely check it out and come join us there as well. So with that, thank you guys so much for joining us. We got some really exciting things coming. Reminder, next Monday is actually going to be next Wednesday because of Memorial Day. So if we don't see anybody here in this group before Memorial Day, I hope you have a wonderful Memorial Day, and thanks for everybody for their service to the country, for all our veterans as well. And don't be a stranger in the group, guys. Like, this group is for you guys. Ask questions, dive in, connect. A lot of people found amazing referral partners, got a lot of value of their connections in the group. Hop in, participate. Like with anything, you get the most that you hop into. And so don't be on the wall, a lurker, like, man, I wish someone would answer this question, but just be the one who asked the question and we'll get an answer for you. I promise, guys. So thank you guys so much. We appreciate all the love, the support, and we will see you guys on the next training.